A black cushion? Looking at it closely, it's a big spider. Great. Its body is about 2 tatami mats in size. It's not a cushion but a futon. It has 8 legs to its left and right. If it stretched out his legs it's probably about 6 tatami mats. Though I'm not knowledgeable about spiders, its legs are not so long. Its feature? It is covered with hair, not just the body but also the legs. The spider beside Kurosan is acting gently. What does it mean? It doesn't look like they want me to hunt it like the wild boar. Kurosan looks like he's satisfied, as if he performed a big task. E2. When I was a little troubled, Kurosan barked at the spider as if saying something. As if that was a signal, the spider spits threads from its buttocks and began to skillfully fumbling it with its 4 legs. What is it? After about 5 minutes, the spider wove a sparkling cloth using its own thread. The size of the cloth is about 50 centimeters square. Handkerchief? It folded it into 4 and put it in front of Kurosan. Kurosan grabbed it and brought it to me. Gift? When I check the cloth brought by Kurosan, it feels better than my clothes. Moreover, there is spider-like embroidery. Kurosan bit the hem of my trousers lightly, so I looked back at the spider. By chance. Can spider make clothes? Kurosan barks joyfully as if I said the correct answer. I see. I do not detest spiders. Spiders are beneficial bugs. If it is not a venomous spider, then there is no problem. It is not venomous. That's what I want to think. In society, it is give and take. It is the same with animals and insects. There is no unilateral exploitation or service. It is give and take. Spider will live with us. It will live on the big tree, which is my former crib. It can eat anything but it seems to prefer potato. It eats potato. Maybe because it's a different world spider, and it makes clothes. Moreover, it can customize the form of the cloth and then make it directly into clothes. Amazing. It took my sizes by looking at me. This spider is highly intelligent. When I asked it, it made me curtains for my dormer window and door. My measures against cold progresses. And there are more amazing things about the spider. This spider managed to use and work on the fur I had given up on. It's totally more dexterous and more knowledgeable than me. Moreover, it combined the fur and its thread to make new clothes. In regards to that sense, it is absolutely better than me. I can't part with it anymore. I also gave it a name. From its first impact, Zubaton. TN. Zubaton means cushion. Our new resident. Chapter 16. Zubaton. Spider not making sound seems to be the same in this different world. However, spider in this different world seems to make sound using tools. Can. It is the sound of the tree being beaten by another tree. I turned back to the direction where the sound rang. This time, it sounded thrice in a fast rhythm. South. Zubaton lives on the big tree where I originally lived. It is the highest place around since I already plowed the surrounding area. It is twice as tall as the fruit trees growing in the field. There, one can see the surroundings better. If there is an incident, sound of beating wood will ring to let me know. Moreover, it tells the direction too. 1 beat is north, twice is east, thrice is south, and 4 times is west. It's really good. By the way, in case of southwest, the tree will be beaten by 3 times first then 4 times after that. As I proceed in the direction Zubaton pointed out, Kuroni is already driving a beast in my direction. It is something large and this is the first time I've seen it. What is that? Big weasel. No. It's different from what I've seen before. Tanuki. TN. Tanuki is a dog that looks like a raccoon with claws like that. This is the most atrocious tanuki I've ever seen. Anyway, it is being driven away by Kuroni, so it is full of hostility. It waved its 4 claws to me. Since it attacked me, I transformed the all-purpose farming tool to its hoe form. With the all-purpose farming tool in my hand, I'm very calm. I feel that my physical abilities are also rising. I avoided its 4 claws and hit its neck with the hoe. It lost its head. Kuroni barked, so I patted his head to praise him. It is not much as the wild boar, but securing meat feels good. I used the all-purpose farming tool to carry it to my residence. Zubaton came down to help with the dismantling. Because Zubaton is hanging on a thread, it was quite easy to drain its blood, take the internal organs, and remove the fur. The way Zubaton peels the fur is definitely way better than me. After that, it returned to the tree with the fur. As of now, there should be a large amount of fur on the tree already. It is getting terribly cold. Perhaps it would have been dangerous if Zubaton did not make new clothes. I also asked Zubaton to make a big sack. I packed grass in it and it became my bed. I should request for a comforter in order to warm me up at night. When I was about to harvest the potatoes, sweet potatoes, radish, and carrots I planted on the field, there is already snow. It seems like this place is cooler than expected. I hurriedly finished the harvesting. After storing the harvested produce in the basement, I thought that the fruit trees should have anti-cold measures. But I don't know any measures for it. I'll leave it this time. I'm sorry. It seems that the Kuros understood that the winter came. They didn't go to the forest so much to the point that they shut themselves on the former warehouse that became their doghouse. By the way, I also installed several measures against cold on the doghouse. Although they can't use fire, I put some cloth that Zubaton made in it to prevent wind. The Kuros are snuggling while sleeping in order to keep warm. They're quite lovely. I think that it is still possible to do something even if it's winter. For the time being, I think I should make accessories by carving woods and stones on my hut is winter. As of now, I still haven't made anything that doesn't leak water. TN. Remember, he can only make solid objects in order for water not to leak. He can't make something like an assembled basin since water will leak. How can woods hold each other tight? Perhaps I need things like adhesives. I should think about it a little more. Should I make it with wheat flour or corn flour? I should make mortars and stone mills. Well, there are also other things I wanted, so I guess I won't be free this winter. Chapter 17. Winter is coming. The real winter came. The snow has not piled up yet, but the considerably cold wind is blowing. Zubaton shut itself on the tree and rarely shows up. The Kuros stayed in their doghouse and just waited near the fire I lit for them. Were prepared, so there is no particular problem. But if I need to say something, going to the toilet is troublesome because the toilet is in a different place from my residence. I have to leave several times a day. It is pretty cold outside. I shut myself to my residence for 30 days and snow started to pile up. Though I'm still fine now, if the snow accumulates more, I need to remove it. After 10 more days, even if it snows hard, it will only pile up for about 1 to 2 centimeters. After that, it melts quickly then disappears. I was relieved a little. For the time being, I'll try making stone mill. I am unsure if I can actually create it. I should not panic. Let's do things little by little. 30 more days. The chilly wind has stopped blowing and I think the weather is already becoming spring-like. 2 days later, I was surprised by the blizzard. Snow has piled considerably too. The spring has yet to come. 10 days later, my body was able to sense the rise in temperature. Although there is still undissolved snow in the shade, I think spring is close. 5 days later, yeah, it got warmer and warmer, and the Kuros came out to go to the forest. Unfortunately, they were not able to catch any prey, so it can be said that spring has yet to come. 3 days later, Zubaton, who didn't show up, showed up for the first time in a long time. It has been so long, so I tried to approach it, but I was surprised. There were a number of fist-sized spiders surrounding Zubaton. A2. Are they her children? She was female? Then, where is the male? I don't really get it, but the spiderlings love potatoes like Zubaton. The number of my cohabitants increased. Yup. Spring has come. Chapter 18. Spring has come. The horn of Kuroichi, Kuroni, and Kurosan suddenly fell off. I was surprised to see the place where the horn has fallen from. However, it will probably grow again like what happened to Kuro and Yuki. Kuro and Yuki's horn were also like that last year, but now, they have horns again. I collected the horns of Kuroichi and the others and probably display them in the doghouse as commemoration. Their horns look like knives and are quite beautiful. I wonder if it will happen again in the future. Anyway, let's resume my activity. First of all is the field. During the winter, the crops are considerably consumed. During the winter, I thought of various things. There is no seasoning, so the crops don't taste that good. Garlic, onion, leek. I don't plan on giving the Kuros those. I just want to enrich my meal. Also, tea. I should have thought about it earlier. I planted 2 fields each for tomatoes and potatoes. Since the fruit trees are already occupying 2 fields, there are only 2 vacant fields. I was troubled at first, but I decided to plant cabbage and spinach. Greens are important too. After taking care of the fields, I check the log fence and the moat enclosing the fields next. I was worried that something will happen to them during winter, but it seems that there is no abnormality on the log fence. In the moat, there is a fanged rabbit, but it seems dead. Did it plan to attack us? Thinking about hygiene, I guess it's impossible to eat it. In the end, I decided to make it a fertilizer. After that, I checked the waterway and the reservoir. The waterway aside, I was surprised to see that there is some water in the reservoir. Thinking about it, is it because of the melted snow? I hammered the bottom of the reservoir with the hammer form of the all-purpose farming tool. It must be the reason why the water was not absorbed. Will it go bad? I want to drain the water, but the drainage is much higher than the current water level. I can't do anything about it, so I just left. This probably won't be a problem. I decided to resume making the waterway to take water from the waterfall that was interrupted for a long time. Though working at it after a long time feels good, there's still a long way to go. The amount of soil I need to pile up increases as I approach the waterfall. I'm a bit worried about the angle, since if there will be a problem, it will be hard to correct it. Before I noticed it, it felt like I'm building something similar to the Great Wall of China, the waterway that connects the waterfall to my residence. It really looks like a wall. Won't this break if a wild animal tried crossing it? This will definitely inconvenience anyone who'll try to go to the other side of the wall. Let's just bore a hole once it's completed. Yeah, there is no need to rush things. I thought so, but still bore several holes for traffic. A real man loves holes. Chapter 19, Kuroichi and the Gang's Journey. One day, the cold disappeared completely. It became warmer and it feels good. Kuroichi, Kuroni, Kurosan, and Kuroan are looking at me seriously while lining up in front of me. What happened? The snow completely melts and a certain part of the forest has grown more brilliant than before. As if the representative, Kuroichi barks and they began running in certain directions. What is it? This is strange. As I'm getting upset, Kuro and Yuki rubbed their bodies against me. When I looked at Kuro and Yuki, they got close to each other as if showing something to me. I get it. Kuroichi and the others went out to look for partners. I see. I give them my blessing. Though I feel lonely. The next day, Kuroichi and the others didn't return, so Kuro and Yuki cheer me up, though they did not say anything. I'm thankful that they are tried to. My heart hurts. I also want a bride, because Kuroichi and the others are not here. The custom of having one of them accompanying me did not continue. Though Kuro and Yuki tried to stay by my side, I asked them to hunt instead. Zubaton's children worked hard on the field watch. Their ribbon-like thread hunts and scares birds. Moreover, I appreciate them eating the insects that are trying to infest the crops. The hard thing is, I have to pay attention to where I step to as I enter the field. Although they are as big as a fist, it will be dangerous if I accidentally step on them. I don't want them to walk on the ground. I want them to be in a place as high as possible. When I thought so, I asked them to move about 5 meters above the field, and if they need to do something below, they'll just have to bungee jump. Amazing. I was surprised seeing the large number of Zubaton's children. They seemed to exceed 100. I gave up the naming of children of Zubaton. My activities are the following: taking care and harvesting the fields, processing the prey Kuro and Yuki hunted, and making waterway. I want to find rock salts, but I don't want to overdo it because Kuroichi and the others are gone. I'll build the waterway for the time being. It is for the paddy field and also for the bath, especially now that Zubaton was able to make a towel-like cloth. There was no fabric until Zubaton came, so I used to use leaves to wipe my body. However, thanks to Zubaton, I can now wipe my body with cloth, so my desire for bathing became stronger. I'll do my best to build the waterway. I worked hard. It has been 60 days since Kuroichi and the others left. The waterway is halfway done. While I'm doing it, Zubaton's children shed their skin. They become bigger, about the size of a magazine. They helped me in building the waterway. They mainly carry soil. Those are the soil I softened and scooped with a shovel. I put them on big leaves which they carry. The amount they carry are small, but because of their numbers, it can't be considered as a stupid idea. Also, until now, I alone have always been the one softening, carrying, packing and solidifying soil. However, thanks to Zabuton's children, I can now concentrate more on what I'm working at. I'm grateful at Zabuton's children, and I'm sorry for not being able to name them. However, these children of Zabuton does not resemble Zabuton. They are somewhat similar since they also have hair covering their bodies and short arms, but they look like a different species because their pattern is different. Is it because they are yet to mature? I wonder if they will become bigger by repeated shedding. Is there a possibility that they have a further I don't know of? In any case, since they are helping me a lot on the field works, I'll have them eat potatoes, building waterway and field work. It is hard to do both. When I was thinking about it, Kuroni came back from the south. Accompanying him is a black dog bigger than him. Did you found your partner safely and return here? Tears have fallen a little. Kuroni's partner tried to intimidate me at first, but when Kuroni, Kuro, Yuki, and Zabuton got in between, it became gentler. I wonder if they persuaded her. Thanks. At any rate, it is good that Kuroni is safe. He doesn't seem to be injured. He also seems to get along with his partner too. I wish his partner could get used to safety now. Also, how should I call her? Because she's Kuroni's bride. Kuronum TN. Yo means a lady wedded to a household. That's terrible. Ja, she's a female, so Yukini. Kurosan is a female. When Kurosan returned with her partner, what should I do? Moreover, Yuki is also pregnant, although it is not obvious if you look at her stomach. I'm pretty sure because Kuro is working harder than usual. I am worried. After a few days of worrying, Kurosan came back from the west. Her partner is a black horned dog which is about her size. I am surprised that Kurosan's partner is full of wounds. Thankfully, Kurosan came back safely. He's walking steadily on his feet, so I guess he's fine. When I looked at Kurosan's partner anxiously and tried to ask her what happened, she has the I don't know anything face, so I thought of something. Could it be that Kurosan is the one who did it? I like you. Be my husband. Did Kurosan said that then attacked? No. No, Kurosan probably has a lot of suitors, so he was injured because of that. Yes, that's it. Kurosan nodded as if agreeing. Do your best. A few days later, Kuroichi returned with his partner, and on the afternoon of that day, Kuroyan returned with his partner. Everyone returned? Kuroichi looks dignified, so his partner watched and followed him. It seems like he's boasting his partner, so I pat his head. Kuroyan is full of wounds and has the atmosphere similar to Kurosan's partner. Was he attacked by his partner? No, that's not it. He was challenged to a fight for his partner and won in the end. I want you to make a happy family. I'm glad that they returned, but I'm troubled about the names. Should I give up on that idea like what I did with Zabuton's children? Anyway, each of them will give birth after this. Considering that one couple could birth 3 to 5 animals, this is troublesome. Thinking about that food, should I need to expand the field? Let's do our best in various ways. I refreshed my heart. Chapter 20. Kuroichi and the gang's partners. Kuroichi's partner is Aris. Kuroni's partner is Iris. Kurosan's partner is Yuno. Kuroyan's partner is Eris. I decided those names to avoid mistakes. I made them to Ayuo order. TN. Ayuo is Kana's syllabary order. Kurosan's partner is not Eris since Yuno is a male. By the way, Yuno is the one who became the most familiar with me compared to the other newcomers. When I'm playing with the Kuros, Kurosan bites Yuno's neck to drag him. During those times, Yuno has an I don't care anymore face. Hang in there. The newcomers have begun living like the Kuros after a few days. However, it seems like Kuroichi and the gang's partners don't want to enter the doghouse where Kuro and Yuki are residing. They prefer sleeping outside. That is why my first job was to build a shed for them. I thought of expanding the fields for future needs. On the opposite side where the river is, I made a large space that can fit 16 fields, a 4x4 field, and enclosed it with log fence and moat. Thinking about the future, the number of their children will increase, so this space is necessary. I left the log fence between my place and the new one, but I fill up the moat on that side. They might feel that they are isolated if they left the moat as it is. Because I'm using the AFT, the supposed to be hard work became easy. It's tiring to always type all-purpose farming tools, so I'll use AFT from now on. I'll make sheds for each couple to live in. The place where the Kuros are currently living is supposed to be a warehouse. Considering Kuroichi and the others with their future pups, they won't need such a large place. Even if I say that, the size of the Kuros are large, I guess they need a room of at least 4.5 tatami mat. Thinking about the entrance, I should consider the height too. I'll be troubled if they started fighting, so building their sheds has been my priority. In the future, will the number of sheds increase? I'll think about it when the time comes. I also dug a well in that place considering Kuroichi and the others drinking water. Although building the waterway is progressing, it is still a work in progress and it is difficult to bring water to this place. I dig in a downward direction with a gentle slope so that Kuroichi and the others can drink by themselves. Similar to the first well, water came out after digging for about 10 meters, so I was relieved. As for their toilet, I dug shallowly in a certain place and prepare some partitioning screen. Wolves want privacy too when doing their business. If it accumulates, I'll just bury it and prepare another one in another place. I have seen Kuro discharging a really big one by accident and the atmosphere between us became awkward for a while. Besides, during winter or at night, the Kuros usually go to the forest to do their business, so this won't accumulate easily. I thought about the pups that will be born. This place will be for those new dogs, so I decided to call this dog area. I asked Kuro and Yuki to move in the dog area, but they refused. I'm glad since I'll be lonely. No, I forgot about Zubaton. The newcomers Aries, Iris, Yuno, and Eris seem to like tomatoes too. It is probably a racial thing. At some point, Eris got impatient and accidentally ate an onion, but there seemed to be no problem. I heard that onions are dangerous for dogs, but is it different in this different world? Onions contain an ingredient called thiosulfate which is toxic to cats and dogs. The ingestion of onions causes a condition called hemolytic anemia, which is characterized by damage to the red blood cells. Onion toxicity can cause the red blood cells circulating through your pet's body to burst. No, I shouldn't be careless. Let's warn them not eat it as much as possible. Looking at it, it seems like Eris likes onions, so she was troubled a little. The newcomers also liked the frisbee. They're crazy for it. My arm got tired. I drink tea for a change of pace. The tea was growing too quick that it caught me off guard. I made tea by picking up the buds. In addition, I forgot that I had to roast it first. My first tea tastes like leaves on hot water. As for the buds, since they grow too fast, I was able to harvest buds on a regular basis. In regard to roasting tea, because I don't know anything about the roasting condition, I can only use trial and error method. As a result, the taste can't be considered a tea, but if you don't compare it to the tea of my previous world, it is still drinkable. At least it's better than hot water. The problem with the tea is the lack of tools such as tea strainers. I have to put the tea directly to the cup, so I can't drink to the last drop. Let's make a tea ceremony set next winter. Chapter 21. Field Expansion. I have to expand the field because the number of mouths to feed increased. The completion of the waterway is still far away. Presently, we can survive with what we presently have now, but I have to plan various things, especially when I thought about winter. Also, when they gave birth, the amount of food consumption will increase. When I first met Kuro and Yuki, they managed to eat a big boar with just the two of them. It will not hurt to be prepared. On the south of the current field, I made a 4x4 field which is similar to the size of the dog area. Let's call it New Field Area. I'm already used to field works. First step is to use hoe to make ridges on regular intervals, then water them. Zubaton and her spiderlings play an active part in bird and pest extermination. By the way, Zubaton's spiderlings and Kuroichi and the gang's partners get along well. I was surprised when I saw Zubaton's spiderlings getting on the back of Aries. Aries seems to be helping Zubaton's spiderlings on moving around. I thought Aries is eating them at first, so let's keep that a secret. I'll utilize this one as a whole field. However, I plan on using it mainly for experiments. If I plow even if I don't have a clear image, will anything grow there? What will happen if I plant seeds and seedlings to the place I plowed? Those are some things I want to experiment on. The crops have grown in the new field area. There are fruit-bearing trees but they don't have fruits yet, although they now have flowers. It is impossible to expect anything this year, but it will perhaps have something next year. Zubaton's spiderlings also helped with harvesting. They can't harvest any root crops because they can't pull them out. They help harvesting tomatoes, eggplants, and cucumbers. Moreover, they put it in a box that I prepared. I occasionally see them steal eating, but I overlook it. I'm grateful for their help. Upon seeing Zubaton's spiderlings helping the harvest, the Kuros tried to help too. However, they can only use their mouth to harvest. Moreover, I feel like they are eating more than they harvest. They gave up after eating grandly. Of course, I got angry. I find the reflecting appearance of the Kuros interesting when I yelled at them. The waterway building has not advanced. It was because my time was taken by the dog area and the new field area. In addition to those, Yuki and the others are going to give birth soon. As Yuki and the others' stomach became obvious, the female camp began to stop hunting. On the other hand, the male camp works harder in hunting since the appetite of the females who are about to give birth is high. They hunt and hunt until they can catch no more. The large amount of fur goes to Zubaton. With that amount, even a part of the floor of my residence has fur covering it. In any case, it took some of my time to dismantle the prey they hunted. Even though the Kuros can eat it as it was, they asked me to dismantle them. I guess they got accustomed to the taste of processed meat without blood. When the big stomach females come to me with begging faces, it becomes impossible for me to refuse. I was treated like a butcher of the prey the male camp has hunted. The rush delivery came. The first one was Eris. She gave birth to 4 pups. Then Aris began giving birth. After that, Kurosan, Yuki, and Iris also gave birth in a dash. Until now, we usually eat near my residence, but aside from Yuki, the others gave birth to their sheds in the dog area, so it becomes impossible for us to be together in a while. Because of that, I decided to set tables in 2 different places. The Kuros prefer cooked meat rather than raw meat. That was unexpected. I have an image of them liking raw meat. Well, when I first met them, they were fascinated by the meat of the wild boar. It seems that Yuno began to look manly when his pups are born. That's what I thought because he hunted a huge wild boar alone. Great. He managed to hunt it, but he came to call for me to carry it. I went fishing in the river for a change. It is because I wanted to eat fish. I discovered a certain fact there. The AFT can't transform into a fishing rod. Why? Perhaps there are rules. For fishing, an all-purpose fishing tool is needed. Although this seems to be a wake-up call, I did not mind it and became apologetic to the AFT. It had helped me sufficiently so far. I don't have any complaint about it. Besides, although I can't transform it into a fishing rod, I can make traps using the hoe or shovel to catch fish. There is no problem at all. Other than the thing that I was not able to catch any fish. Feeling defeated, I assume that fishing activity is beyond me. It seems I can't catch different world fishes unless they are in a place without water. It seems like I can't use my common sense here with regards to fishes. Also, there were fishes with fangs. I was scared a little. Several days later, I improved my trap and caught several 30 centimeters long fishes. I ate them right away and it was bad. They smell like mud. When I caught a fish, the Kuros did not show any interest at all, so I thought that it was strange. Regrettable. Chapter 22. Winter preparation and a naked girl. I have begun feeling the chilliness in my residence. As for Kuro and the others' pups, they are still cute, but there is already a horn growing in their heads. I became a little melancholic since winter will arrive soon. The fruit tree did not bear fruits yet. I expect it next year. I have stored a considerable amount of food, to the point that I have to build more underground storage. You can call it thorough. I have raised and harvested more crops now. Thought the waterway is still incomplete. In addition, I haven't secured salt yet. Will I be alright? I feel like I haven't tasted any salt salinity ever since coming to this world. I have only eaten either produce or hunted animals, and now, fish. Can it be supplemented by animal meats? I'm not quite sure. I roast them. However, it is not possible for me to eat them raw, though my physical condition might worsen in the future. I can't do anything for now. Let's make it my objective next year. I'll make it my top priority. TN. Why does it seem like he urgently needs salt? Salt plays a crucial role in maintaining human health. It is the main source of sodium and chloride ions in the human diet. Sodium is essential for nerve and muscle function and is involved in the regulation of fluids in the body. Next is waterway building. I want a wife. Sleeping alone at night is lonesome, especially when I see the harmonious family of the Kuros. Zubaton suddenly consoles me. Thanks. My plan for winter. I decided to make various things with wooden stones this year, so I collected materials. Currently, I managed to unite woods without water leaking on them. I'm currently using resins in order for that method to succeed, but now I'm aiming for no water leak even if no resin is used. Devising the angle by carving the wood where the parts joins, I managed to prevent water leak. It prevented water leak, but when more load was put in it, it cannot take the water pressure, so I devised the carving to strengthen the unification. Perfect. I utilized it presently at the water container in the dog area. This is one step closer to the bath. The fruit trees are also giving me a good feeling, so I'm thinking of planting cypress. For the sake of the bath, Kuroichi and the others' children don't have names except for one. It is because there are too many of them. It is also difficult to distinguish them. I'm thinking of asking Zubaton to make scarves with names. I named Kuro's 4 new pups: Kurogo, Kuroroku, Kuronana, and Kurohaki. Kurogo and Kuroroku are males while Kuronana and Kurohaki are females. This is not discrimination. They are living near my residence, so there are a lot of chances for us to meet. A pure white puppy is born among the new pups, and it is the pup of Eris and Kuroyan. I named it because it's completely distinguishable. Fubuki. I think it suits her because she looks like snow. TN. Fubuki equals blizzard. She's female. At the time when the horns can be clearly seen on the forehead of the puppies, Zubaton informed us that there was an incident on the north side. It seems that the urgency is higher than usual, so I have a bad feeling. To affirm my hunch, I was surprised to see the Kuros running all together on the north side. The puppies also acted similarly. Why did a dangerous guy come? I took out the AFT and followed the Kuros. When I arrived at the place where the Kuros surrounded, I saw